Republican political strategist. John, good to see you this evening. So look, I've been warning on this program, on my national radio show for weeks now, that the administration is in grave danger of losing control of the narrative here. And now we've got Tom Homan rushing into Minneapolis. Greg Bovino is out. What say you about the recent developments?
Yeah, Todd, you've been out in front on this, both on your show and on your X account. I've been seeing it now for weeks. And this is the issue. Look, Donald Trump is doing an incredible job to make America safer again and push the American people's agenda that he was elected to do, which is deport illegal immigrants. But the way the administration right now is handling this narrative, it is slipping away from them. And of course, Todd, it's not surprising the Democrats are feigning outrage in large part because they don't want any deportations. They want to stop the Trump agenda. But public opinion matters. And if the Trump administration doesn't recapture the narrative here, it will be problematic. And I'm not so worried about the funding package as I am more just broader approvals, which slows down the Trump agenda.
Well, and that is a big problem. And again, these Republicans, they do it. They take it hook, line, and sinker every single time. I know Senator Jerry Moran coming out and now condemning what happened. For me, the issue here, and it's a very important issue, is that you are not allowed to insert yourself into official police business. That is against the law. For me, that's where the story should be stopping right now.
Well, Todd, that's right. And to that point, the narrative should really be about the left is using violence via protest to stop lawful immigration officers. That should be the conversation that we are having. But of course, Todd, the problem is the mainstream media is gleeful to not talk about it in that terms. But it's up to Republicans, certainly on the Senate. It's up to the Trump administration to stay focused and disciplined on the violence and the risks that these officers are risking as they go in to do their job to keep Americans safe.
All right. So now we've got a big battle looming in the House of Representatives, government shutdown on the table, and Republicans seem to be holding their ground here. I mean, you're the pollster. How are things actually looking for Republicans right now?
Well, boy, history certainly as we go into the midterms doesn't favor the Republicans or party in power. So there's some dashboard blinking lights just historically and among others. But in this short-term funding crisis, it really, I think, is going to depend, Todd, on what the narrative is in the next couple of weeks. I think, look, one thing Trump is a master at is controlling the narrative, recapturing the narrative, and he has single-handedly managed to put Democrats on the side of defending violent illegal aliens. So I trust that President Trump can put this thing back on track, but I think he's got to get involved, Todd. I think if it's left up to his cabinet members and his deputies, I think their instincts aren't as sharp as President Trump. So he has to get involved, recontrol public opinion, and I think we'll be fine on the shutdown side.
Again, when you look at all of the polling data that's out there, a majority of the American people, they support deportations. And I don't know who thought it was going to be like a walk through the park. You know, we were going to tiptoe through the tulips. This stuff is getting ugly. And it's not as if the agents are going out there trying to hunt down people. All they're trying to do is get the illegals and get them out of our country.
Well, Todd, that's right. And it's made even more complicated for our ICE agents and Border Patrol because you go in places like Minnesota that are sanctuary states that refuse to cooperate and comply with federal law enforcement. So, look, it's Governor Walz, it's Keith Ellison, it's the leadership in some of these states and cities that are making it so much more draconian and difficult for ICE agents to do the job. I know that President Trump is going to quit here, but there are some blinking lights in terms of narrative control that we've got to get back on track.
All right, good stuff. John Thomas, good to see you tonight. Thank you. And stay with us, folks. We have more on that winter storm on the other side of the break.